Bless y'all, what it do? And I'm finally making this video. It's been a while since I've been wanting to make it. I think this is been about 2 weeks, I would say. This is going on like the second week that since I've dropped Carolina J. And I wanted to make a video explaining me leading up to that point and just what the whole project is about and things like that. So let's just start with the sound. The sound and the intention of this whole project. First of all, it's more of like an ode. Some of y'all or most of y'all may not know that I'm from North Carolina. So that's where the inspiration for the title of the project, Carolina J, it comes from. And then the first initial of my name, which is Jesse. And just putting that two together. But also, so when it comes to the sound that you hear in it, it's been a long process of me just working with my own unique sound and things like that. When I first came out with my stuff as Jesse Dortigan, I definitely, you could hear the similarity or the inspiration from like Lil B and things like that, and also like just ODB, because like I love people that have a unique, innovative, unorthodox flow and just style about them. So that's where I gain my confidence, because everything that I've been influenced or inspired by is by individuals or groups that have their own unique sound and don't sound like anybody else. So that's something that's like very important to me. And when I came out with my music as SSUNNO, that's when I started crafting what I call soul music, which is SOL music. And that to me was like a play off of my name, which is SSUNNO. And then also, like I said, creating my own style based off of the rhythmic patterns and things like that. That was more of like, a lot of it was a little slower in their BPMs and things like that. But now that I started getting faster with my BPMs, that's when I started making what I call jungle bass. And that's still that drum and bass as the foundation, but it's a lot faster with the BPM. Now, fast forward, because that was around 2017 while I was like working on those sounds. Fast forward to 2025. This project, Carolina J, I call it ceremonial music because of the intention that I placed into the music. Music is a very spiritual experience. And this is me like really like planting my feet of like, yeah, I really want people to have a spiritual experience with my music. I'm not sure if y'all have before already. I've gotten feedback of like just people enjoying the sound and things like that. But now I'm like, okay, how can I inspire people to feel and also inspire people to be more involved or in tune with their body and their environment and things like that, you know what I'm saying? So I have to be the example, you know what I'm saying, by living it and then creating the music or the environment for those things to happen and take place either within or outside of you. That's why I say whatever your spirit feels called to do, as far as, hey, I want to sit and meditate to this song or the music, or man, this jam got me wanting to like, you know what I'm saying, move and groove and things like that. Or if you want to share it with others, and or just be to yourself in nature and things like that. It's whatever you want to do and however you feel with it, but it's just that pureness of the intention, you know what I'm saying? And I had so much fun. And the reason why it's so important to me is because also I allow myself to create without having like any restraints on the logistics of what I'm creating and things like that. Yes, as a songwriter, I do definitely like to have a little bit of structure in how I'm going about it. But at the same time, I wanted to really like just let go and just be loose with however I'm going about the creation process, because music is a very spiritual experience, you know what I'm saying? And not judging myself of what comes of this openness of creating, you know what I'm saying? Because not only for me, of course, first and foremost, I have to make things that I'm going to be okay with putting out into the world, you know what I'm saying? As far as like energetically speaking. When it comes to creating and things like that, it is with me in mind first. If I can't groove and move with it, then I do ask the question, what is this for? Sometimes, a lot of times when I make beats, I might not feel like I want to be on them. So that lets me know I either need to wait until I'm ready for it, or I need to pass it on to the next person, somebody else that I can hear on this type of beat or sound and things like that. So yeah, um, that's really, I think that's all I wanted to really talk about with this project, and just getting y'all's feedback on. I'm very appreciative of how the project is being received, because it's very vulnerable, I would say, because I'm gaining a lot more confidence in my singing ability, but also just having fun, you know what I'm saying, and not judging, like I said, what comes out, but also seeing like, all right, people are rocking with it on some level, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate it. It is exclusively on YouTube and Bandcamp until I figure out my own website that I want to have so y'all can support me directly. But at the end of the day, it's really about not just y'all bumping my music, but being able to build a solid community, because it's very important whenever you're working on a vision, making sure that we're working on things that's like bigger than ourselves. And that's really what this full moon is about in Aquarius. It's about like just working on projects that's bigger than ourselves, or like as a collective, in the now, but also for building a better future. And that's what RABD stands for, reestablishing better days, you know what I'm saying? So we just keeping that frequency and that vibration up full, you know what I'm saying, in those intentions and things like that when we're spreading the message. So yeah, new project, Carolina J, on not all streaming platforms. I'm so elated to say that, because some of y'all might be aware of that now, and some of y'all may not be aware of like just the streaming payouts and things like that, and the lack thereof for artists, especially independent artists that's working on running their business as like a solid business, because we do have to maintain and learn these things, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm very excited about stepping forward more in that, yes, being on top of my business and things like that, and taking care of business. And just because I'm at a place where I'm not even irritated at the situation of the digital streaming platforms. Like I get it. There's so many of us out here, and it's awesome, because in a way I appreciate gatekeeping to an extent. Now I'll explain why. maybe in a later video. I'll talk about it briefly now. But as far as like gatekeeping, I learned that it's like, all right, there is a process, there's a due process with certain things, like when we're learning new fields, you know what I'm saying? Like having a rite of passage, especially when it comes to our elders. So me being in the middle, I'm in my 30s now. So by me being in the middle, I'm that bridge from the older generation to the newer generation, you know what I'm saying? So being able to have inspiration but also get knowledge from both sides, I'm able to put them together, you know what I'm saying? And growing up, I would have had a lot more insight on how to do better business too. Um, but also just how I'm making my music. I like to do what I do, but I have enough sense to try to pick up game or wisdom, you know what I'm saying? Because once you get too big headed that you can't learn from anybody, that's where we cease to grow. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that we should always be striving to do, is like just continuously growing and improving on our crafts, but also just on a basic human soulful level. Like we should just always be constantly trying to grow and things like that. So that's why I say gatekeeping in that aspect, yeah, I get it, it's necessary. Like when I was I am a beat producer, or just a producer, but when I started getting into producing, it was a long time before I started learning how to count my measures, or even writing songs. Like I didn't know how to like count the measures and things like that, or my BPMs, like beat per minute. I didn't know about these things. I was aware of it, but I didn't really know what to do with this information. Um, Certain sounds and putting them together, I learned through experience, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I was able to cultivate and craft my own sound, and that's why it sounds so unique. I appreciate my process that I went through. Um, but yeah, it's everybody's journey is different. So having those things in mind, I do um, go forward to help other people that might be wanting to go in that direction. Like try to give people a heads up, like, hey, you might want to register your music on ASCAP or BMI or something like that if you really want to get paid. Like the days of being a starving artist is over. Like you either really about your business or you just doing this for fun. And there's nothing wrong with like being like doing it for fun, because at the end of the day, we need to be able to have fun with this, you know what I'm saying? And if it's not fun, then it's just like just sucking the energy out of you and you're just purely money motivated, you know what I'm saying? And if that's your thing, then that's your thing. But over here, that's not really the thing. It's like, yes, I appreciate the money and things like that, but it's also bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? I want that, but also the community aspect of it and being able to relate to people and being able to travel, spreading the message and the sound and things like that, you know what I'm saying? And collabing with other people around the world and shit. So, and just hearing my songs in different countries and like just different mediums, and you know what I'm saying? So that's really the long goal of this. So yeah, like I said, Carolina J, my newest project. And if y'all haven't streamed The Eternal Now, my last and newest long version project, or full length project, I would say, that is on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube as well. If y'all go to my playlist or my music playlist, you'll see The Eternal Now there as well. But much love to everybody that's been rocking with me up until this point. especially if y'all been with me at the beginning of my journey and just seeing the growth and the development. We still pushing, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, still getting it. Much love, bliss.